praise to the Most High. So all praise to the Most High. Yahweh, who you call God, in the name of His Son, who we call Yawasap. Because we come out here week in and week out for our people to tear down these strongholds in our minds, in the minds of our people. Because what we're being taught in these church and these religious institutions is not biblical concepts at all. So give me that first, Matthew 4.
We're in the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone.
So this is who you may call Jesus saying this. He says, for it is written that man shall not live on bread alone.
But every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High.
But every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High. Before you get that, 2 Timothy 3:16. But every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High. So where can we get the words that came out of the mouth of the Most High? We get these words from the Most High in this Bible, the book that He left, that He gave by the mouth of His prophets. By the mouth of His prophets, so that we know when we hear these prophecies, when we hear these warnings, these instructions, we know that they came from the Most High. No. Because if you listen to your pastors, if you listen to your teachers, everything that they say is based on their own emotions, on how they feel. They say, oh, we all can be saved. The dietary laws are gone. But this is not biblical. None of what they're being taught in the churches are biblical concepts.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 16. All scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh.
So all scripture, everything that's in this Bible, every single scripture that's in this Bible is given by the inspiration of the Most High.
And is profitable for doctrine.
And is profitable for what?
For doctrine.
So when the churches tell you that everyone can be saved, that we're supposed to love our enemy, if it's not in here, it's not doctrine.
For reproof, for correction, for instruction.
For what?
For instruction in righteousness.
So everything in this Bible is instructions for righteousness. So if a preacher is telling you something contrary to what's in this Bible, give me Isaiah 8:20. So if they're telling you something contrary to what's in this Bible, you're not supposed to follow it, because this isn't the word of God. Give me that.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy.
Repeat that again from the top.
Beware.
So beware. This is an admonition to be cautious.
Lest any man spoil you through philosophy.
Your preacher?
Philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men.
No, after what the Most High said.
After the tradition of men.
No, because they got prophecy.
After the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahweh.
And not after Christ. So if your preachers are telling you something contrary to this, no, I said Isaiah. So if they're telling you something, 8:20. So if they're telling you something contrary to what's found in the scriptures, then you have to be aware of what they're saying.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 8, verse 20. To the law and to the testimony.
So to the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, and the testimony, the words of the prophets.
If they speak not according to this word.
So if they're not going according to what is written in the first 5 books, the law and the testimony of the prophets,
it is because there is no light in them.
So when the churches tell you to love every nation of people,
it is because there is no light in them.
So when the pastors tell you you can eat pork,
There is no light in them.
so when they tell you you don't gotta wear fringes,
There is no light in them.
when they tell you the law is done away with,
There is no light in them.
when they tell you that all the prophecies have been passed already,
There is no light in them.
give me Jeremiah 23:1. And that's what we're out here to do. We're here to break down the strongholds that these churches have on the minds of our people. Because this Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, is dealing with a specific group of people. It's the story from Adam all the way unto Jacob and their descendants, the Israelites. This is all about their lineage, their history, their traditions. This has nothing to do with the white man. This has nothing to do with the Chinese man. The only thing in here that speaks about the other nations is their judgments. That's the only thing these other nations have in this Bible. This book is not about you. This is about,
Get it? Teach.
this book is about the children of Israel.
Teach.
The so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans. The people that was prophesied that they would lose their heritage. The people who don't know who they are. The people who walk around dumb, deaf, and blind because they rejected the words of the Most High. Bring that up.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors.
So in the Bible, that word woe, W-O-E, means destruction.
Woe be unto the pastors
Destruction unto the pastors.
that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Most High.
And that's what we're out here doing. We're out here to teach you according to the Bible. No. We're here to teach you according to the Bible. As who you call Jesus said, that man shall not live on bread alone, but by every word that's spoken from the mouth of God. And I showed you that the prophets spoke as the mouth of God. So now we're going to see what the Most High says. Give me I got you. Luke 2:15. And Deuteronomy 28. Because everything that the Most High said is going to happen in the law and the prophets must happen. So this is what he said would happen to his people, to the children of Israel. 15 first.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass,
So that means it's going to happen.
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power,
So if you don't listen to the Most High, this is going to happen.
to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Because everything that he said, this was what Moses told us on our way out of Egypt into the land of Israel to take it.
Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her.
No, that's good. That's perfect. Now tell me, what group of people, what nation of people is known to take a woman and another man lay with them? We have Trey Songz calls himself Mr. Steal Your Girl. Now who does that sound like?
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
We have ACS coming into our houses today at an alarming rate and snatching your kids. The kid snatchers are here in 2020. They're taking kids and put them so deep into the foster system, you have to dance through hoops to be able to see your kids again.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
Now where are the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American banks at? Show me one. Recently, a conglomerate of so-called African American people opened up a bank, but that's still one, and it's not one single owner. Every single bank is owned by the Jewish international bankers.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother.
And you look in our neighborhoods, black on black crime, the so-called Hispanic people, Mexicans not hating black people. So-called black people hating Mexicans, Hispanic people. You look in our communities where we live. Who do we rob from? Who do we steal from? Who do we lie to? Who do we sell drugs to? Our own people. That's hating, having an evil eye onto your brother.
Right. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness.
So our women used to be so tender that they wouldn't set their foot on the ground for delicateness. Because at one time, our women were royalty. Our women were carry themselves as royalty. But now, look at our daughters, our sisters. They're walking around as thoughts, bad bees. All they have to offer is some wop. That's all they have to offer. They have nothing else to offer you. So all they can talk about is how good my pee is.
Right.
That's all they have to offer. They got nothing going on in their head. All they can think about is, I can twerk. I got a fatty. That's all that they got. They have nothing going on in their head.
And tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
So the Most High said he'd send us back into Egypt. Give me Exodus 20:2. Because he said he'd send us back into Egypt. So we're going to show you that Egypt is synonymous with slavery.
The book of Exodus chapter 20 verse 2. I am the Most High thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So the Most High brought us out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. What's another word for bondage? Slavery. So when we go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68,
and the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again.
He'll bring you into slavery again.
With ships.
How did the so-called Hispanic black man get into America?
With ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
So we would never see our homeland of Israel again. And when we arrived here in this place, we were sold unto our enemies.
For bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
And no man has come to redeem us. Not Nelson Mandela, not Martin Luther King, not Marcus Garvey. None of them has been able to liberate us from the situation that we're in. So what does that mean? That if no man can get us out of this, the only one that can get us out is the one who put us in there. And the Most High said he would put us into slavery and deliver us to the hands of our enemies.
That's right. All right, we're Baruch chapter 2, verse 15. That all the earth may know that thou art the Most High thy power, because Israel and his posterity is called by thy name.
So the Most High said he'd send us into slavery again. And that's exactly where it is. So we must come back to the laws, the statutes and commandments if we ever want to get out of this place. We come out here week in and week out for you, not for anybody else. The other nations be damned with them. We're here for our people, because the faster we come back to these laws, the quicker we can get out of here. You already see 2019, 2020, everything is being turned upside down. You have COVID coming, you have wildfires, you have tornadoes, you have hurricanes coming to this place. The Most High is bringing judgment on this land. So if you, get me Mike at 210. So if you want to get away from this? How can you assure yourself of this? How can you assure yourself that your family's going to be safe? The jobs are closed down. How long do you think you're going to be getting unemployment? How long do you think they're going to be giving you a COVID stimulus package? They keep writing money. What good is the money? What good is the money now if they just printing it? What's backing it? What's making it valuable? Nothing. This place is going downhill with greasy wheels.
The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart.
So the Most High is telling us, arise and depart.
For this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
This place will destroy you. This place will destroy you because it is polluted. So, this is the conclusion of the matter. Give me that on. So this is the conclusion of the whole matter.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
With that, I yield, say shalom to my family, death and destruction to America.
Death and destruction to America!